You're not everybody else. You are you.
Mm.
So there are a bazillion people out there that will be happy to tell you what to do for $5,000, $10,000, $12,000, $997, whatever. Some
Mhm.
of them are great. Some of them are good. But you are you. So at the end of the day, instead of focusing on how to do so many things like the other people are doing, do you. Of course, it's important to understand how to do things logistically, technically. Those things are important. Some people
Yeah.
don't have the skills. Some people do. That's okay. You can find those things pretty easily online. Heck, you can find them on YouTube for free, I'm sure, these days. But so one, I would say, be you. Don't try to be somebody else. I understand the temptation. I've been there. I've spent way too much money on other people's stuff. And as I kept doing other gurus' things, at the end of the day, I was like, they're all saying the same thing every time. I
Yes.
wasted more money on the same stuff every time. So
Uh-huh.
what's the point? The point is, get on with it. Just do it.
Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. We're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life. We want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. In this episode, I get to speak with Matt Crump. He is a highly accomplished professional with multiple certifications and expertise in various fields. He's a Board Certified NLP Practitioner, AMA Certified Hypnotherapy, and Timeline Therapy Therapist. Furthermore, he is a renowned NLP coach, empowering individuals in both their personal and professional lives. With his extensive experience, he has authored and published books, become an international best-selling author, delivered impactful speeches, and created engaging social media content. Matt Crump is also a proficient marketing and branding specialist, exceptional graphic designer, and skilled webmaster. As the host of the Hope Revealed podcast network, he continues to inspire and uplift others. Recently, he has triumphed over his 12-year-long battle with cancer and now serves as the CEO, founder of the Veteran Coaching Alliance, supporting veterans, active duty military personnel, first responders, and their families. So, without further ado, let's dive into today's episode. Matt, so excited for you joining us. You're on the side of a road, pulled over so we can record this conversation. Thank you so much,
I'll do anything
man.
for you, brother. Anything for you. I just don't have my studio right now. It was my fault, but we're going to do this. It's awesome.
I love it, brother. I love it. Well, thank you so much for, taking that time, pulling over, being safe, and recording this conversation. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Man, that's a big loaded question. You know that one already.
I know already.
Things are going great, man. It's been fantastic. I've taken a break from social media the past couple of years and been slowly integrating back in at my speed, which is pretty nice to do. I don't have to do stuff and feel all wiped out at the end of the night saying, oh my God, I didn't do enough likes and comments and didn't do enough this, I don't even care anymore. Just like, if I do it, I do it. I don't. But I am coming back a bit stronger than I had been before. And I'm excited to focus in on a niche that I've been avoiding for a very long time. And during my sabbatical time, that's when I felt it was time to dig in. And here I am.
So glad, man. Well, Matt, we've been connected through LinkedIn and other platforms for a while, and I just love your journey and all the things that you've gone through. It's really, truly inspiring, and what you're bringing to the table. It's absolutely epic, and I would love for you to take us, walk through memory lane, rediscover your origin story, and share with the audience who have not heard of you before, where you come from and what inspires you and how you got here.
Sure. I think for me, it really goes back even to childhood to start where I've been lately. When I was about 13 years old, I was tired of living, tired of being told what to do, tired of everything, I guess. And I went to my room, got a plastic bag, some tape wrapped around my head, and I fully intended to kill myself. I went pretty long until I almost blacked out, couldn't breathe. And I thought, oh man, I don't really want to die.
Yeah.
I just don't want to live this way. And I ripped the bag off my head. Fast forward a few years later, I'm a troubled teen doing all kinds of goofy, stupid things all the time that if my son ever does, I will take you out brought you in, I'll take you out. Anyway, so I did stupid stuff. And then I decided to run away from everything, joined the Army, went into the military. And during the period of time I was in the military, my life changed in many, many different ways. It was great for the discipline. I met a guy who shared God with me, and I was able to take my experiences and turn them into a different way and see what could be good for that. Moving forward, became a pastor as in the civilian life, a business owner. I owned several businesses over the years. And I had a recording contract. I traveled around and sang. I mean, that $5 get a cup of coffee at Starbucks. I think $5 gets a cup of coffee at Starbucks. It might be $6.50 now. I'm sure. But, and about 2011, of course, I got married, had kids, whole 9 yards. Everything was cooking right along until 2011, when I was told I had cancer. So I had a surgery, and within a year of recovery, they told me that I was good to go. Everything seemed to be gone. 2015. Cancer came back. I started coughing up blood on stage when I was going in to sing. I said, that doesn't usually happen. Why am I coughing up blood? Wouldn't go away. Guess what? Cancer was back. Only this time I was stage 4. Started in my adrenal gland. It was in my lung. Started to get treatment at Duke Cancer Center, and it traveled to my brain eventually. I had to have brain surgery twice. The second one was in 2020, actually. So for about 5 years, I was fighting all these different things going on in my body, trying to live and survive, trying to be a dad, trying to be a husband, of course, trying to be a pastor, trying to be this guy online who's motivational for everybody, trying to help inspire people to say, hey, look, you can overcome your obstacles, because I'm supposed to be dead like 5 times already, and I'm still here. And I kept on moving. And then, as I mentioned, I took a sabbatical here the past couple of years just to kind of reevaluate my life and figure out how I can do this thing a little bit better so I can focus on me and then be more beneficial for those that I'm serving, which has happened. And now I'm working with veterans, active duty military, first responders, and their families to help them overcome PTSD, suicidal ideation, trauma, things of that nature, and find purpose. I do that through therapy, and I've got some therapy certifications and my coaching. And then, as I told you, brother, just a little bit ago, I was told just a few days ago, guess what? I have cancer again. So now I have prostate cancer. In the mix of me trying to go 1,000 miles an hour, I figure I'll stop the whole cancer story and just go straight into working with veterans. But I'm gonna have to come up with a combo idea, because I got to fight cancer again.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's something really crazy. I mean, cancer's been around for some time. And in fact, my father-in-law passed away due to cancer as well. Some other family members that I know also, had cancer, brain cancer, like all sorts of cancer. It's kind of crazy how the cells mutate and just take over. And I'm not sure what the cure is for it, but I'm sure there's ways. I mean,
There are
the
so
ways
many
that you fought,
preventatives.
right? The ways you fought,
Yeah,
I'm sure those are some of the things
it really
that
comes
people do.
down to your will to live and your desire to stay positive about things. I mean, as soon as you go negative, you're dead. Obviously, diet, health, exercise are vitally important. We'll probably have 1,000 comments on here where people say, yeah, if you eat a bat wing, or if you go find a sloth and you get his left tooth and you grind him up, they'll cure cancer. I get it. There's so many great things out there that work. They probably do. But try to live the best that you can and make the best of it. So here I am, a guy that's been told so far 5 times I'm supposed to be dead, and now they tell me I have cancer again, and we'll find out what the rest of that looks like here in a few weeks.
Man. Well, thank you for sharing with us here first, even though this episode is going to go much later on till you've already
Yeah, when I'm
announced it
all
to the
good to
world.
go, we'll be like, hey,
Yeah,
here's a
we're
bottle.
all good to go. Like, what? You had this? That's really cool. So let's go down to the level where you're going to go. I mean, you are still planning on helping and working with veteran entrepreneurs.
Right.
Because veterans are a very strong force. There's thousands of them out there. And they're just trying to figure out, okay, what's the next step after I've served in the military, after I've done all that I can for somebody, for the government, what do I get to do for myself? Like you almost have to switch mindset, because you're no longer getting orders. You have to now give orders to yourself.
That's right. The old thing we would say in the Army is that you're not paid to think, you're paid to do. So it's like, okay, now what do I do?
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. So how do you, like, what are some of the ways that you're going to be working with them and walking them through, hey, this is what you should be working on, this is how you should be?
Yeah, in that case,
building your...
with over 44 veterans a day, dying in the United States of America right now, which is a horrific statistic. It's
Wow.
factual. It's online. You can find out all the information about that. There's thousands and thousands and thousands, actually a few million veterans that are out there that are needing help. Now, those that are in the military and they come out of the military, they go from active duty to civilian life. There's quite a big difference there too. That's the place where you're trying to find out, what am I supposed to do? For me, I would say the most important thing is finding out who is, what's the hell, they're walking the dog. We got a guest on the show today, a little puppy dog.
The dog is trying to go. Okay, they just needed some
The dog's saying, I'm gonna
privacy.
go. That dog is going, buddy. It's awesome. I won't put the camera down. Your privacy. For me, I've decided that with all things I've done in the past as a life coach and a business coach, I was focused on helping people overcoming their obstacles so they can build their businesses, their life, their careers, right? All kinds of that stuff. Everybody says about the same thing these days, but that's the short story. And I don't really want to go that route this time, because when somebody has an issue that is like, I might want to kill myself, I can't handle these things anymore, and I don't know what to do, and nobody wants to hire me because I'm not hireable, or I just am confused, or I'm embarrassed and don't want to tell anybody that I don't know what to do. So if I put things out there to help folks with what's up here between the two ears, and we work on those things first, alleviating, getting rid of certain things, it's possible to overcome PTSD, it's possible to overcome trauma, anxieties, all those things. It's possible to find your value, your worth, and your purpose. Then you can go on to the other stuff that I know that's no problem. We can do it, but I don't care about that now. What I care about is you. I want to make sure that you're straight, your brain is straight, your mind's straight, you're thinking right, your mindset's correct, actually, yes, and be able to live life like we're supposed to be able to live.
As you talk about these things, overcoming issues and overcoming the mental hurdle, and you receive this message from the doctor, hey, you've got this thing going on. It's almost like God wanted you to not only share this and talk to people, because not everybody goes through cancers and is also a coach. Like,
right.
People are like, so you're a very unique, what's that word? A very unique personality that have not only fought this thing for the past 12 years, cancer, but you're already currently fighting it. And when you share that story on the stage, when you share that story to the people that are looking up to you, they're even more dialed in. They're even more motivated. I'm like, if he can do it, who's currently going through this thing, then there's no reason for me to even complain about anything.
Exactly. That's the hope. I mean, it does suck, but at the same time,
yes, it does.
I've been like, all right, I'm going to take what I've got and use it for the good, because, we can choose to say that it sucks and it's bad and I'm going to die, all these things. We can choose to be negative, or we could say, all right, everything happens for a reason. Everybody loves to say that thing all the time. Well, okay, if everything happens for a reason, well, then fill in the blank. What is the reason? For me, it's the fact that people can see that although all the things I've experienced and gone through back, I was a drug addict and alcoholic, I've had great business, failed businesses. I mean, I've got a laundry list of things I can tell people that I've done. And at the end of the day is how do you do that? How do you live like that? And I can only do it because, well, one, I've got my faith in Christ, my faith in God, and the other is that it's going to work out. I mean, what can I do? Sit here and be worried about it all day long? And then I've accomplished nothing. But if you get up and do something, so instead of people saying they're dying of cancer, how about you want to live life? It's our choice, right? I'll choose to live life. And if somebody's got a problem mentally from PTSD, or someone had a traumatic situation occur in their life, or whatever, I don't want you to be stuck in that place. I'd rather you live life. And yes, you're right. I'm not saying this to boast, because it actually sucks to boast about my life, because it sucks so bad with so many things. But I've been through enough stuff that give me a break here. Let's talk about it, because you can do this. I'm still standing, and there's no reason why you can't. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And I value the fact that I've been able to have the strength and overcome due to many great reasons. Obviously, God, Duke, people praying all over the world. I mean, it's been quite amazing. I never thought that I'd be famous for cancer one day. I was hoping I was going to be a famous singer. I'd be on stage speaking, doing stuff, and then it's cancer. It's been my whole thing for 12 years. So I'll use it. Yes.
I mean, you've done all of the things despite having to go through cancer, right? Not a lot of people can say that. So really grateful for you to take the time and, come talk about your journey and how you're helping others do this.
But
Let's
there's just
take
no
a,
excuse, brother.
yeah.
It's when people that are watching today and they're watching for things about hacks and tips and everything for your show. You can sit around and think about those things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You can think about how it's not right and how his background looks great and I've got a nasty green screen, or here I am on my microphone today. I don't even have my microphone on. We're talking through my phone, and I usually have a microphone, right? Now, the perfectionist side of me would be freaking out if that happened. We
Yeah.
wouldn't be having this interview. I'd be in my studio. I would have stopped it all,
Mhm.
gone to the studio. But I believe that excellence is way better than perfection. And if we're people of excellence versus perfection, it allows us to stop off the side of the road and do what we got and do what we
Mhm.
can do. And at the end of the day, that's the best you can do.
Yeah.
So you just do it. That's all there's to it.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. Let's take a quick short break. And when we get back, you share 3 hacks to share with the audience that they can implement into their lives. I mean, you've done so many amazing things, and people can totally utilize that time and build on that.
Absolutely.
Looking for the ultimate live streaming and video production studio? Discover Ecamm Live, exclusively built for Mac. It's the leading solution for podcasting, webinars, live streaming, and more. Elevate your content creation game and bring your ideas to life with Ecamm Live. Head on over to hacksandhobbies.com/ecamm and download your studio today. Start creating with Ecamm Live and elevate your audience engagement. Download now from hacksandhobbies.com/ecamm or tap on the link in the show notes. Hey guys, welcome back. We'll be talking with Matt Crump, who is currently on the side of the road recording this podcast, because this is the power of podcasting and connections. When you build friendship, when you've built this communication, and when you've built this relationship with your friends, you want to show up in any which way possible. And Matt has shared some amazing, deep stories about his past and what he's been through. In fact, he is currently going through that again. I mean, if you don't remember, he's currently going through another. What do you call these things when they come back? Is there just like a medical term for this or whatever? Like a
I call it annoying. Is what I call
annoying,
it.
this annoying thing that's
It's
back.
an annoyance. It's a bad annoyance called cancer. Yeah.
So he's going through cancer again, but we are going to learn more as this podcast publishes. We will have more information from Matt Crump on his side. But before we go there, Matt's got 3 hacks that you can implement in your life, in your entrepreneurship, that's going to get you to the next step.
Yeah. So the first one is, you're not everybody else. You are you. So there are a bazillion people out there that would be happy to tell you what to do for $5,000, $10,000, $12,000, $997, whatever. Some of them are great. Some of them are good. But you are you. So at the end of the day, instead of focusing on how to do so many things like the other people are doing, do you. Of course, it's important to understand how to do things logistically, technically. Those things are important. Some people don't have the skills. Some people do. That's okay. You can find those things pretty easily online. Heck, you can find them on YouTube for free, I'm sure, these days. But so one, I would say, be you. Don't try to be somebody else. I understand the temptation. I've been there. I've spent way too much money on other people's stuff. And as I kept doing other gurus' things, at the end of the day, I was like, they're all saying the same thing every time. I've wasted more money on the same stuff every time. So what's the point? The point is, get on with it. Just do it. So that's the first hack, right? Do that. Second one is, even Jesus never did anything alone. He always had a disciple. And he always sent his disciples out 2 by 2, not 1 by 1. They always went out. So, of course, this is not a religious broadcast. I'm using this as an example. Heck, Lone Ranger had Tonto. For any of those of you that might be a little bit older and remember the show, Lone Ranger had Tonto. So don't do it alone. One, there's great to have accountability in your life for people to help you stay rooted and focus on what you're supposed to be doing, because it's so easy to be swayed, especially today in our technology. Now that AI has gone berserk in the past 6 or 7 months online. My God. It's everything's AI now. It instantly just bam, it exploded. And now you're thinking, now what do I do? What do I do? Find somebody that you can stay accountable with. Keep everything where you're supposed to. Stay in your lane, and don't go past what your vision is. Your mission is. Stay with your vision and mission, and remember it's yours. So again, focus on those things instead of somebody else. So this is kind of same as the first one, but it's a little more like the second one, I think. So just focus on those areas and be real. It's easy, just hard.
It is. It's definitely hard because we are taught to not like ourselves. Like we're always taught to be perfect and not make mistakes.
Right.
And that's the wrong way of doing things, because you don't learn anything if you are winning all the time. You're literally not learning anything. But if you make mistakes, you're learning so much more, because then you can tweak and get better at it and go much further.
Oh, there's no doubt. And Lord knows we can pull up a bazillion quotes about failure with Michael Jordan, right? Did so many shots before he actually started sinking them. Thomas Edison had so many failures before the light came on. It's just, but the only reason the lights came on, the only reason Michael Jordan is who he is they didn't stop.
They didn't stop.
They knew who they were. They knew what they're supposed to do. Kept it in the lane, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I tell people is, like with Michael Jordan, that story, and about keeping it in your lane. Do you know the name of Michael Jordan's high school basketball coach?
Uh-uh.
Well, neither do I right now. I'd have to Google it. Point is that man who was so influential in Michael Jordan's life.
Yeah.
He could have done anything else he wanted to do when Jordan started getting famous, but he stayed in his lane and he did what he was supposed to do. He supported this man. He built him up and helped make him the man he's supposed to be. He didn't have to be a famous coach. He had to be a coach that did what he was supposed to do. And that guy is one of the reasons Michael Jordan is who he is today. So maybe you're supposed to be that coach behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing.
Amen. Amen. Because you are serving your purpose. You're doing what you're meant to do in this world. We're all planned in this world we all have a purpose in this life. God put us on this world to do our purpose and bring to the people the knowledge that they might be lacking, the motivation that they might be missing, the support that they might be missing, the accountability that they might be missing. Because with that 2x2, that accountability, you're basically there's a phrase around 1 is 1, but 2 is 11, because now you have 10 times more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's pretty powerful.
So important to have that person or people. And while I don't have any money, I'm broke, I can't afford anything. You don't have to. You can start off with certain folks that'll be, if you're that good at something, somebody likes you. If they like you, they will help you. You just have to ask. And one of those things that the third thing that kind of goes along with all this about a hack is lay your pride down. Lay it down.
So true.
Pride comes right before the fall. And let me tell you, you don't want to fall when you're doing something like this, because it can destroy you. Same thing as with me, as with cancer. When they say you have cancer, I can choose to become secluded. I can go inward. I can be sorrowful and depressed and do all these things. And guess what? I will die. That will happen. I can kill myself by not fighting. I don't have to do anything. I just not fight and I can die. But when you're in this situation in life and you just talk about purpose, things like maybe people are out there wrestling with, well, I still don't know what my purpose is. So, come on. All right. So if there's one thing, if you're in your house, you laid your head down at night on the pillow, it's just you, your pillow, your bed, you're laying there. What's that thing that you keep thinking about? Well, that's probably your purpose. And don't run away from it. I ran away from my purpose. And now I'm locked into a new place for me where I probably should have been a long time ago in my niche. And I'm excited about it. I'm happy to be able to serve these people in this area when I had always been saying, oh, they don't have enough money, or they're not going to care. Nobody wants to. You know what? I don't care. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do it. If I only help 2 people, fantastic. If I help 2 million, fantastic. Doesn't matter. Whatever it takes. So lay down the pride. Don't worry about what other people are doing, saying, looking. Don't matter about how that's big old pop back there. We're live, folks. We're live here somewhere on side of the road. Actually, I'm in a Walmart parking lot. If I'd have gone closer to Walmart, this could have been an even more interesting podcast today. We already had a dog walk past us. There's 1 or 2 things right there, I can tell you. Oh, so lay a lot of those things down. It's so hard. And your background, you didn't do that. Your backdrop here for the podcast, you didn't always have that. You've only had that up in the past few years.
Yeah.
And it was a work in progress. And then when you put it out there, people are like, wow, it's so close. And people are excited for you. But you just didn't start. You had that.
Right. No, you
And
got to start
exactly everything
zero.
you have around you, yeah, everything you have around you at this moment is probably not the exact same thing you had last year either. You
No.
probably got some stuff you had because with time and experience, things change. And that's
Mhm.
okay. We all grow, but you
Yes.
have to own who you are. If you're a kid in this industry, be a kid in the industry and grow up.
Yeah.
If you're an adult, be a kid in the industry and grow up. Be wise enough and humble enough to step down so you can step
Amen.
up.
I love that, Matt. Thank you so much, man. That's real inspirational, very true, and we definitely need to pay more attention to who we are, what makes us tick, and how that resonates in other people. I think some of the exercises that you and I have gone through is, hey, ask other people what you're good at because they probably know better
That's
than you
right.
yourself. Because we're like, oh, I can do this. But if you've asked somebody else, they'll tell you, hey, you're good at this thing. If you go all in, boom, that's golden.
And that's the hard part, bro, because I'm a guy who I'm like a squirrel. I do 1,000 things. Little people like, how do you do what you do, man? But when they do say stuff like you said, and the same has happened to me, it's a struggle. Really? But I want to be like Grant Cardone, or I
Hmm.
want to be like Gary Vee, or no, be you.
Be you.
There's already Gary Vee. There's already a Grant Cardone. There's already a fill in the blank.
Exactly. They're
But
already
there ain't a
taken.
you until you start being you.
I mean, you can learn from their lessons. You can learn what
Absolutely.
they've done, right? That's why they share that information. I mean, Grant Cardone was on the Undercover Billionaire, and if you go watch that show, it'll show you exactly where his mind is thinking, and you can technically use those same tactics in your own city to walk that path because he's already laid down that path. So
He started with $100 and a fake identity. Nobody knew who he was. And within a couple of months, he had $5 million in his huge
yes,
business going. It was
yes,
just because he followed the principles he believed in.
yes.
Um, so I'm not,
Love that.
this is a disclaimer. Nobody's out there going to necessarily make $5 million. You might make 10. You might only make enough to feed yourself and feel good about
And
yourself.
that's
That's
all you
really all
need.
that
That's
is.
all you need, right? That's all you need. Oh, Matt, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom, sharing your story, and sharing the actionable items that our guests can implement in their lives. I've got some really fun questions for you right now. Dum dum, music playing.
All right, here we go.
Boom, boom, boom. Number one, what is the one hobby that you wish you got into?
That I wish I got into. So that's asking them not into it.
Yeah.
Hobby. I do so many hobbies. It's horrible. I would say mountain climbing.
Mm,
I've always loved the photos and see people doing things, guys hanging upside down. I couldn't do that.
yeah.
But I would love to scale a mountain and
Scale a
not be
mountain.
afraid.
Oh, I love that. Like
I
that
can
a
climb
lot.
up really good. It's just that falling down part that gets me.
Yeah, I don't like falling down, but I do love climbing.
I like it. It's good. I'm good.
Sweet. Next up, what did you want to be when you were a child?
I wanted to own a music store.
Mm,
My senior project in high school was to open a business and open a music store, which I had forgotten as I got older as an adult. And the last business I had before I closed down because I had the brain tumor to be worked on, I had a music store. I had a music store for about 11 years.
wow,
And I
check
was
it
pretty
out.
happy. I found the paper. I said, I did what I said I was going to do. This is crazy. So, yeah, on a music store. Loved it.
I love it. Next up, what is your favorite movie or TV show?
Favorite movie, I would say, oh, what was it called? I just forgot the name. Oh, what's his name? It's Heath Ledger.
Heath
And he was
Ledger?
Heath Ledger. He was a Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale. Oh, yes.
Okay, The
That was
Knight's
a really
Tale,
good one.
one of my favorite movies ever. And I've watched it so many cotton picking times because there's so many little one-liners in there that you just
Mhm.
don't catch right away. And you come back and you're like, this is funny. And of course, the end when everybody's farting, that's probably one of the best scenes ever, too. So it's pretty funny.
Note on Heath Ledger, he played an amazing Joker as well.
Sure did.
Unfortunately, that Joker really got him.
Yeah, it was
Joker got
really
him.
sad to know how that all occurred. He really got into the part, but he was amazing actor for that. I didn't know him as a person, but
Mhm.
he surely was incredible what he did.
Yeah. All right, next
Another
up,
point to say, don't get lost in pride because you might go
don't
too far.
you were talking about pride earlier, and I was going to bring this up how Satan got kicked out of heaven because of his pride.
Absolutely.
Like,
It's a big one.
No, you're not better than Adam. You need to bow down. Like, no, I'm made of fire. This is clay.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Sorry.
You're out of here. Right?
It's a big two.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, what movie would you choose if you, Matt Crump, got to play a character in it? Sorry, we can't use copyright music.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, YouTube and Facebook will mute that section in 50 different countries.
Yes.
I've seen that expression before on my Facebook. I would say it would have to be a space movie. I love space movies. I love sci-fi stuff. So I might want to be like, not Han Solo. I'd want to be like Luke Skywalker, I think. I liked Luke.
No, Luke
was pretty cool.
He is a pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
That character is definitely someone to look up to.
He'd been through a lot from youth. You know, he was in a dysfunctional place. He was in a home that wasn't his parents. He grew up knowing one thing and only one thing in an isolated area, and then got thrust into a whole different kind of life, and then kissed his sister, which was nasty, and then all kinds, lost his arm.
Yeah.
But he still became who he was. And then he finished out on an island and stayed out on an island in the middle of Ireland somewhere.
That's right. All right. Next up, who is your favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero? Well, I do like Spider-Man, although he's not a human being. We have a lot of issues with illegal aliens these days. So I would say, I don't know if that's politically correct to say Superman, but I'd probably say Superman. Superman or G.I. Joe, one of the two.
Superman or G.I. Joe. You know, I'm super excited for the next G.I. Joe and Transformer movies that are coming out. It's gonna be so epic because that was like a little Easter egg they threw in, like right at the end. I was like, wait, what's going on now? Holy smokes!
I know. I said, are they serious? Yeah,
and they're gonna bring I would love to see like them bringing the two universes they've created together. Like that's gonna be pretty epic.
It will be. I think because of money, they probably will. Somebody's gonna say, I know how to make some more money.
Last up, if you were a board game, what would it be?
Monopoly. Seems like I'm always having to go around the block. You know,
yeah.
Got stuck in jail a couple times. It's just, you think you get the money, you lose it, then you get it back. It's quite an interesting game of life, that's for sure. You learn a lot of Monopoly.
You know, not to make fun of this, but a Monopoly game where you have different sorts of cancer.
It's true.
I know, right? It's like, wait, I've got this whole row down.
You fail. You got prostate cancer. Go to oncology. You got brain cancer.
That would be pretty interesting. Right. Dark, a very dark Monopoly game.
I have brain cancer. Yeah, that'd be horrible. You've been healed. You got the Jesus card. So there's so many other things. There you go. It'd be fun.
Matt, thank you so much for the opportunity again, man. I really appreciate you and wishing you the best luck, sending a ton of prayers, and you're gonna break out of this, man. This is good for you.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Prostate cancer, I'm gonna kick it in the butt.
Yes.
I'm sorry. What are you gonna do? You gotta have fun with it. You know.
You gotta stay positive. You gotta stay on that positive note because it's feeding on that negativity, right?
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to Hacks and Hobbies. You can find additional information on the guest today on the website hacksandhobbies.com. Please feel free to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on upcoming interviews with amazing guests.